Alright guys, just a piece of advice regarding sanding with these sort of orbital sanders, if that's what you use for sanding plasterboard especially. Because you know, with timber I use a smaller one for timber sanding usually. You know, you just get into the corners a bit easier. You got a bit more room to work with. But the main difference, the most important difference between these two, not just the size, but if I push this one, you can probably see that you can sort of really push this sanding pad. It looks very soft, and it is soft. Whereas this one here, it's got very little give in it, so this one's much harder. And I mean, obviously they do sell the different kind of softness, hardnesses, hardness pads in different sizes. But you know, I just used the softer one on the smaller sander, and the hard one on the bigger sander, because the bigger one I usually use for plasterboard sanding. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. When you're sanding plasterboard, if you've got all kinds of sort of undulations in the surface, especially if you used plasterboard tape for joints, which, you know, of course you always will when you're taping joints, and so there are going to be sort of bumps in the surface, and you know, maybe little hollows and whatever, so all sorts of undulations. It's not going to be a perfectly sort of flat surface. And if you use a soft sanding pad, then what would happen is the pad itself, as you push, it doesn't even take a lot of pressure from you, but if you push it to the surface, the pad would, because of its soft nature, it would follow the undulations on the surface, right? So as you move it across, it would just sort of follow the valleys and little hills on the surface, and once you sand it, it would be smooth, but it won't be a very flat surface. You would be able to tell a lot easier that you have little humps in the surface and little bumps and little craters here and there, and simply because of the soft sanding pad following the unevenness of the surface. Whereas if you use this sort of harder sanding pad, then what that will do, at least it gives you a much better chance of sort of bridging across those uneven areas, those sort of little craters. So if you go from a low spot to a high spot, the area in between will sort of be flattened out and sort of bridged over. So you will give yourself a best chance of feathering in those sort of uneven areas in the surface, if you know what I'm talking about. And that is why I use the hard sanding pad for plastering repairs, sanding plasterboard, and you know, that sort of stuff. And that's what I think you should do as well. So let me know what you think, or if you've given it a try, and if it worked or if it didn't work, if you weren't happy with the results. But good luck and have fun. Bye.